moment I saw them dragging him back, I knew it wasn't human. No man cries like that. Not with that kind of fear. Not with that kind of longing. But to tell you how we got to that moment, I have to start at the beginning. The first time I saw him, he was standing at the edge of the village, staring at the setting sun as if he had never seen it before. His clothes were clean but simple, and he had no belongings, not even a walking stick. His feet were bare, yet there were no calluses on them, no sign that they had ever known rough ground. Strangers were not uncommon in our village. Traders, travelers, lost wanderers, we had seen them all, but this man was different. His name was Adisa. He did not say where he came from, only that he had traveled far. The women at the stream whispered about him. They said his skin was too smooth, his voice too soft. The hunter said he walked through the forest without fear, and even the animals did not flee at his presence. The old men at the palm wine huts shook their heads, saying no man should be that untouched by life. But I liked him. He was kind, always smiling, always eager to listen. He asked questions that no man asked. What does hunger feel like? He once asked me. I laughed, thinking it was a joke, like an emptiness inside you, gnawing, waiting to be filled. He nodded, as if he was committing the words to memory. Another time, he asked, does the sun always set this beautifully? It sets the same way every day, I told him. Then, why does it feel new each time? I did not have an answer for that. But the more time I spent with him, the more I saw the things the others whispered about him. He never seemed to sweat. Even in the harshest sun, he never stumbled, never fluttered. His clothes never become dirty, no matter how much dust the wind carried. And his eyes held something ancient, something that had seen far beyond our world. But it was harmless, so we let him stay. If he was a spirit, he was a strange one. He loved food, though he chewed each bite as if he were committing the taste to memory. He drank palm wine, but instead of becoming drunk, he only laughed, as if the warmth of it spreading through his chest was a delight he had never known. One evening, as the village prepared for a festival, I found him sitting beneath a tree, his eyes following the dancers. Why don't we join them? I asked. He smiled. I don't know how. Then learn. I put him to his feet, guiding him towards the fire where the drummers played. The music was loud, the beat thrumming through the earth, demanding movement. He hesitated, but then something changed. He let go, and when he danced like the wind itself, light, free, as if he had finally found something he had been searching for. For the first time, he looked like he belonged. But as I watched him, I saw something else. Tears, not of sadness, not of pain, but of something deeper, something only he understood. That night, as we sat by the fire, I asked him, "Are you happy here?" It took a long time to answer. Then he said, "Yes, and that is why I am afraid." Afraid of what? He did not answer. It happened without warning. One moment, we were sleeping. The next, the sky tore open with a light so bright, it turned night into day. It was not fire. It was not lightning. It was something else, something old, something that did not belong to this world. And from the light, they came. They were not men, though they had the shape of men. Their skin glowed. Their feet did not touch the earth. Their eyes burned with something pure to be of this world. The moment Adisa saw them, he was still. He did not run. There was no point. They reached for him. He did not fight at first, but then, as they grabbed him, something changed. He struggled. He thrashed. "Please," he begged. "Don't take me back." His voice, it was not just fear, it was sorrow, it was longing. He fought like a man who had found freedom and refused to lose it. The beings did not speak, they only held him tighter, lifting him towards the light. And then, a voice, not theirs, not his, a voice that was everywhere and nowhere, filling the air like a storm. Why do you resist? Adisa stopped struggling. He hung in their grasp, his breath coming in sharp gasps. When he spoke, his voice was raw, desperate. I have seen it. I have felt it. I do not want to leave. The voice was silent for a long time. Then it spoke again. You do not belong. Adisa's hands clenched. But I want to. Another silence. Then, at last, the voice spoke one final word. Then you shall.
Let him go,
The
I
beings
say.
let go, and Adisa fell. He did not float. He did not drift gently like a feather. He fell like a man. The earth did not welcome him softly. He hit the ground hard, dust rising around him. I ran to him. He was lying on his back, his chest rising and falling in short, painful breath. For the first time since I had met him, his skin was not untouched. It bore scratches from the fall, death clinging to sweat. He opened his eyes and he laughed. Not the laugh of something pure, not the laugh of something untouchable, but the laugh of a man who had finally gotten what he wished for. I helped him sit up. His hands trembled, his fingers coiling into the dirt as if he were claiming it as his own. What happened? I asked. He looked at me, and for the first time, I saw it. He was human. I am here, he whispered, and that was all he needed to say. That night, the sky remained closed. The light did not return, and Adisa, the stranger who had once been something else, stayed with us. He walked, he bled, he aged, he lived. And when he finally died many years later, he did not rise because he was no longer an angel. He was a man.
And thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more interesting updates.